Okay, time for ending C. Load previous day. Case 4C.
You can come out now, brother. How did it go? Better than we ever hoped for. The rooster is dead, and the madam has tasted her first blood. Amazing. Completely worth getting shot for. A meddlesome Falcon tried to disrupt the execution. Falcon? Really? That tenuous wretch? Don't worry. He floundered and bumbled around hopelessly. The madam thinks that he's of some use, but really, he's as good as dead. This is marvelous. Every piece is falling into place. Our dream will be a reality in no time at all. To reason, brother. To reason.
Act 4C. Fraternite. I hope you don't harbor too much hate for the madam. I know that the rooster was your friend, but the madame does what she does for the good of France. Boy, oh boy, this is awkward. It is a bit. Perhaps a round of drinks are in order. After all, this is a tavern. What do you two say? I'll take a wine. Make sure it's a stiff one. I'll take 2. Very well. Piero, fetch our guests some drinks. It's your round. My round? No way, it's your turn. Turns don't matter. You still owe me for that omelet I generously paid for last Friday. Yeah, well, you owe me for that coffee on Tuesday. Okay, so that's 30 cents of coffee deducted from a 60-cent omelet, plus the 25-cent peanuts you swiped from my pantry. Hold up. I ain't so good at mental arithmetic. Listen, Sparrowson, you need to go. Go? Yes, I'll create a distraction. You head straight for the back door. Is that such a good idea? If we both stick around, we could both end up dead as soon as we rub that lioness the wrong way. If we both run, these two will probably shoot us in the backs. So the way I see it, one of us running is the most viable option. Falcon. Don't argue. Once you're out, find Volerti and tell him what you've seen. Okay. So it's agreed. You get this round, and I'll owe you 2 cents. Yep, and I'll hold you to him 2 cents. Be right back. Don't you two move or nothing. He'll hold me to the 2 cents? That Piero's such a miser. Anyway, I don't feel like sitting in silence. Let's talk to pass the time. Fontaine, I have a gun question. A gun question? Do, go on. What's better, muskets or pistols? What's better? Well, both weapons have advantages and disadvantages. It's not really a matter of one being better. As you can see, I prefer to use a musket. The longer barrel makes it more accurate, especially over long distances. So for hunting, there's no argument. The musket is superior in every way. But for personal defense or for close quarters combat, some would prefer the pistol for such a situation. You see, a smaller weapon offers a greater degree of maneuverability. Alright, I brought drinks. One for me, one for you, and one for... Hey, where's the little one? The little one? He's right... Oh, Merde. I lost him. You lost him? How did you lose him? I was gone for 2 minutes. I think I dropped the ball on this one. I'll say. The madam's gonna string us up for sure. Actually, we should make up a cover story. We can't let her find out about this. You can't let me find out about what? I felt that it wasn't right to keep Sparrowson here against his will, so I created a distraction to let him escape. It's somewhat gutsy of you to outright admit that. By rights, I should shoot you here and now. But I won't. I need a lawyer to bring our plans into fruition. That little bird was dispensable. You are not. Madam, If Sparrowson runs to the police, then both this location and the sleeping city are compromised. We should keep this meeting brief. Agreed. Falcon, let me quickly fill you in. As you probably know, we are planning to form a protest, an enormous protest on the 14th of this month. We intend to draw a massive crowd at the Police de Concorde, and then we shall march across the Tuileries Garden.
A march across Tuileries? You intend to storm the Louvre?
No, the Police Royale. That is where the King and the Prime Minister will be residing. I would like it to go peacefully, but...
Peaceful uprisings have a habit of turning violent, don't they?
Exactly. And we can't let the leaders of this country escape amidst the chaos. They must be tried for their crimes against the French people. On that note, I want you to lead the prosecution.
You want me to prosecute the King of France?
The King and the Prime Minister. They are both responsible for the rampant inequality that plagues this country. On the day of the revolution, we will drag both of these overpaid bourgeoisie onto the streets, and you shall prosecute them then and there.
I think I understand. Prosecuting the pair for crimes against humanity, I suppose. It could certainly be done. If I were to interview a lot of citizens, gather a lot of evidence, file some paperwork, I could probably prepare a case in around 2 months.
We don't have the luxury of time. Use your ingenuity on the day, just like you did in the catacombs.
You can't be serious.
There's no alternative. The wheels of the revolution are already turning, and the revolution will ignite in under a week. The question on my mind is, what will we do with you until then? You can leave him with us, ma'am. We'll keep a good eye on him. After seeing the atrocious job you two did guarding the little bird, I think not. I'll just have to guard you myself, Falcon. You shall spend this week at my side while I complete our preparations.
At your side? All day and night?
Absolutely. I'm not going to let you out of my sight for 1 minute.
That seems excessive. You can trust me, madam.
No, I can't. You've promised to help me, but I know that you don't actually believe in the cause of the Second Republic. If I give you 1 grain of freedom, you will undoubtedly flee. This meeting is over. Come along, Falcon.
Alright, the Police Royale... Question mark cutscene.
And then, while we were sitting in the tavern, Falcon gave me the opportunity to escape. He created a distraction, and I sneaked away and went straight to the police. Then you called a meeting, and, well, here I am. So yeah, that's the whole story.
I see. So Severin Cocorico died at the hands of the rebels.
That's right.
And Falcon revealed his true colors as a traitor.
A traitor? No, that's not right, Inspector. Falcon's not a rebel. He's just playing along so he can save his own life.
Don't be so naive, Sparrowson. Put the puzzle pieces together. Falcon willingly leapt into the lion's den for the specific purpose of siding with the rebels. He let you escape because he could see that you weren't truly sympathetic to the rebel cause.
That doesn't make sense at all. Falcon's never shown a rebellious streak.
Tell me, Sparrowson, what do you know about Falcon's past?
Not a lot. He's a private person.
Has he ever told you what he did during the July Revolution, before he changed his name?
No, he hasn't told me anything, really.
Sparrowson, let me tell you about the man they call the Viridian Killer.
Tuileries, the halls, the police. Let me think. So it takes 10 minutes to walk from the Police de Concorde to this very spot. And the Police Royale lies 5 minutes north of here. But the crowd will be fairly large and slow. It may take twice, maybe 3 times as long to make the move.
Having a logistics problem, madam?
Perhaps. The plan is to walk the crowd from here, through Tuileries, to the Police Royale. But if we take too long to pass through Tuileries, the police will trap us in. We could be flanked and slaughtered.
That is quite an issue. Why not just get the protesters to meet at the Police Royale itself?
Because the Police de Concorde is an ideal meeting location. It's enormous and easy to get to.
I see. But even if you got, say, half the protesters to meet at the Palais Royal, you would cut down on the traveling time.
I get it. A smaller crowd would be easier to direct across the garden. I'll pass the idea along to Piero and see what he has to say. He's the one in charge of leading the crowds, after all.
That bird-brained parrot would probably just shoot the idea down, right?
Probably, but I appreciate your input. I don't know if you genuinely want to help, or if you're just telling me what I want to hear out of fear, but thank you, Falcon.
It's no problem, madame. For the Second Republic, right?
Right, for the Second Republic.
Les Halls, huh? Let me guess. You have a weapons supplier somewhere around here. Or maybe this is where you plan on meeting an informant, a government defector. It's as good a meeting spot as any.
Actually, I'm here for groceries. There's no need for that look. You think that just because I'm a gun-toting rebel, I don't need to buy food? Man before it! Man before it! Well, well, if it isn't Sartain and little Gambade. You're growing bigger every time I see you. Ma'am, you have to hear this. Something big went down here yesterday. A policeman. A nasty, ugly policeman. Let me guess. He was bullying people into revealing secrets on the whereabouts of the revolutionaries. Well, that's how it started, ma'am. Same old bullying tactics. He was pushing around this old beggar rat who hangs around the market sometimes. But then, when the rat wasn't speaking up, the policeman drew his gun and shot him.
The policeman shot the beggar? Just like that?
Yep, but then the coward cop went and ran before we could turn on him.
I find this difficult to believe. A policeman wouldn't openly shoot a beggar without just cause.
Open your eyes, Falcon. This is the regime us Parisians live under. We are ignored by the government, oppressed by the police, and hanged by the courts. Why do you think I'm fighting so hard to make a change? We can't put up with this sort of bullying.
No, this can't be right. Something has to be missing from Sartain's story. Do you mind if I ask you a couple of questions, madam?
Sure, ask away. Make it quick, Falcon.
What did the policeman look like?
Well, I didn't get a good look, but he was tall and ugly and mean-looking, and he had one eye.
One eye?
Yep, had one of them pirate patches.
There's no way.
Ring any bells, Falcon?
I know a man who fits the description, but it simply couldn't be him. He's a bitter individual, but he is morally righteous. I can't imagine him shooting an innocent person so recklessly.
Don't let your bias towards the justice system affect your judgment, Falcon. If you think you know who did this, then please, name and shame him.
I think I should bite my tongue until I'm a little more certain.
Did you want to know anything else, Monsieur?
Just who was this beggar rat?
I didn't really know him well, Monsieur. None of us did. He was kinda a loner who hanged around, asking for scraps of food and cents. I don't even know his name.
That's so sad. Did he have no family? No means of support?
Falcon, do you have any idea how many beggars there are on the streets of Paris? How many people go hungry? How many people are forced to turn to crime?
I'm well aware, madam. I'm asking these questions to see if there was perhaps some reason why that particular rat was killed. But no, it appears this is just the loss of one unnamed beggar rat among many. It's tragic.
That it is, Monsieur. Is there any other way I could help?
If a policeman did shoot an innocent person, then there would surely be an investigation.
Ha! Your naivety knows no bounds, Falcon. You think the police care if one of their own is out of control? Actually, there was one bloke I could skin around. I don't think he was a policeman.
Oh? Go on, madame.
Well, he was this charming fox.
Bernard.
A friend of yours, Falcon.
Something like that. We should probably pay him a visit to see what he's up to.
Pay him a visit? I suppose we can set aside a little time. Didn't you want something else?
That's all, madame. Thank you for all your help.
No problem. Anything to help Madame Gumort. We'll try to get to the bottom of this, Sartain. Just make sure to stay safe when Stay safe
when the revolution starts. Stay inside. Keep Gumbud safe. Of course, ma'am. You stay safe yourself, you hear?
Very linear, much like the last one.
Visitors, Monsieur Volps, visitors! Really, Falcon, what do you hope to accomplish in this sleazy back alley establishment?
Sleazy? Madam, my back alley office is perhaps a little cluttered and eclectic, but I resent the accusation of sleaze. Maybe I should do the introductions. Monsieur Volpes, this is Madame Gumort, a, friend of mine. Madam, this is Renard Volpes, private investigator, at your service. It is a pleasure to meet you, madam. Ah, how stoic. I'm sure you have some pressing questions to ask, Falcon, but before we get started, there's something I must tell you. Monsieur Sparrowson dropped by earlier. He informed me of your situation. Sparrowson, is he alright? Oh yes, he's now working with Inspector Volerti, attempting to unravel the rebel plot.
Just as I thought. It appears that your lackey has solidified his position as a traitor to the Second Republic, Falcon.
Perhaps, perhaps not. Sparrowson doesn't strike me as a person who sides with any ideology. But, you know, he asked me the most peculiar question. Would you like to know what it was? Of course. Such information is quite valuable. It would cost, say, 30 francs. Yeah, I know how this works. Here's your money, monsieur. Very good. So, on to the question. Sparrowson asked if you were the Viridian killer, the one responsible for the random bombings during the July Revolution, 18 years ago. Why on earth would he ask that? Perhaps the inspector has been telling him stories. So what did you tell him? The truth, of course. That is, that I have no idea who the Viridian killer is, but that I knew it couldn't possibly be Falcon. Oh? And how do you know that I am not the Viridian killer? Heh, Falcon, please. You're a semi-drunk, babbling oaf, not a ruthless killer. Anyway, I've started my own investigation into the Viridian killer. It's fascinating stuff. Apparently, he was seen in multiple places at once, which led some to believe that he was actually more than one person. Huh. And you know why they call him, or should I say, them, the Viridian killer? Viridian is a greenish color, isn't it? No, I don't have a clue. Crimson Killer would have been a much cooler name. It appears that no one knows the origin of the name, which leads me to suspect that he, or indeed they, chose their own name.
This is all fascinating, truly fascinating, but perhaps we can return to the conversation to why we're here.
Of course. Monsieur Volpes, we heard that you were investigating the murder at Les Halles. I was. That victim was a friend of Mousie's.
More of an acquaintance, really.
Well, we want to know if you managed to uncover anything. Did you find any leads? Any juicy clues? Not as such. It's quite a peculiar case. Did you hear that the murderer wore an eye patch? I did. You know what that implies, don't you, Falcon? You only know of one police officer, or indeed, one person, who wears an eye patch. The inspector. But that can't be right. You wouldn't describe him as a murderous man, would you, Monsieur Volpes? Murderous? I don't know. He was certainly passionate about finding the Viridian killer. Who's to say that he wouldn't kill in the pursuit of his arch-enemy?
Falcon, I want to solve this mystery as much as you do, but time is pressing and we have other matters to attend to. We must take our leave.
Understood. Until next time, Monsieur Volpes. Goodbye and good luck, Monsieur Falcon. It was a pleasure meeting you, madam.
Monsieur Volpes, that lioness looked pretty angry. Is this revolution going to end in blood, Monsieur Volpes? Just like in 1830? The police royale. Just look at that disgusting den of fat cat bourgeoisie and hypocritical politicians. The king is probably in there as we speak, probably sitting in his high chair, stuffing his bloated face with cake and wine while he boasts about being the perfect citizen king.
Did you come here just to moan about the king?
No, I've come to assess the potential battleground. On the day of the rebellion, I might order Piero to set up a barricade over there. What do you think?
There? Right outside the police royale?
Of course. It's the perfect place for a defensive garrison. We can gather furniture from nearby buildings, build a wall, and position rifles to fend off the police. When the time is right, it will serve as the ideal location to launch our assault on the palace.
So you weren't just throwing empty words in the tavern. You actually do intend on dragging the king out of the palace through violence.
Of course. He will never abdicate of his own volition. It's not as if I want to see bloodshed, Falcon. It's necessary. It's inevitable. I mean, we have to be realistic. There's no way to bring change to a country without using violence, is there?
I think there are ways. People look back on the valiant moments of history. The executions, the wars, the bloody revolutions. But who's to say that a country could not be overturned just through the chance of the people?
A pacifist revolution. Interesting. I would love for such a thing to be possible. Maybe. It would be better to avoid building the barricades. At least until it's clear that violence is inevitable.
That's good. That's a good compromise, madam.
This is it, Falcon. This is the day we make our stand. Everything is coming together. As we speak, Fontaine is gathering the protesters at the Place de Concorde. Pierre is making preparations to build and arm a barricade near the Palais Royal. Just as a precaution, you understand. The only question that remains is, are you ready?
Absolutely. Bring on the revolution, I say.
That's the spirit. Come on, let's see how the protest is going.
Falcon and Beaumont arrive at the Place de Concorde. The air is thick with the chants, shouts, and cheers of hundreds of protesters. A line of mounted soldiers stands shoulder to shoulder outside the entrance to Tuileries. This is amazing. I had no idea the Second Republic had this many supporters.
But of course, you didn't think we were just a few animals huddling in a cave, did you? The desire for revolution runs deep in the city. Everything's in place at the Police Royale, ma'am. Just say the word, and we'll set up the biggest barricade you've ever seen. Then we can all storm the building and drag that cocky king out on his chair. There's been a change of plan. We're still going to protest, but we're going to do it peacefully. No firing from behind barricades, no violence, no capturing the king or prime minister.
Madam, are you feeling all right?
Quite all right, thank you.
But what of your desire for a better France? You cannot achieve that without bloodshed.
We can certainly try. Falcon convinced me.
Falcon?
Pacifism seems like the Christian approach, wouldn't you say, Friar?
I see. So that's how it is. Excuse me, madam.
I think the Friar disapproves of the new strategy.
He probably thinks I've gone soft. And maybe I have. But I'm not deviating from this path, even if each and every rebel leaves my side. Don't worry, ma'am. You aren't alone.
We're not here for the violence, madam. As long as you strive for a better France, we'll always stand with you.
Ugh, this stupid bullet wound. The damn thing's opening up again. What's the news, brother? Is everything in place? We have a problem. The Mademoiselle refuses to use violence. She's turned timid. Turned timid? How? It appears that the lawyer, Falcon, is something of a lion tamer. J.J. Falcon? That bird is proving to be more trouble than the rooster, I swear. Brother, listen. If there's no violence, then there will be no power gap. One leader will just peacefully replace another. We need chaos for our plan to work. Guess we'll have to follow through with our contingency strategy. I'll find the victim, you find the suspect. Don't push yourself, brother. You're still injured.
Look at these scum. Look at those scum. Foul vermin, the lot of them. Mark my words, Sparrowson. Every one of these petulant dissenters will take the first opportunity to turn aggressive. They lust for violence.
They don't look too violent to me.
Trust me, this is just how the crowd looked before the July Revolution. It only takes one crazed individual, and the entire crowd will explode into a frenzy.
Hey, it's you.
Friar, it's good to see you again.
No time for pleasantries, Inspector. You're needed urgently on the police station court.
Me? Why not ask one of the officers on active guard duty?
There's no time to explain. Any minute now. Ah, do you hear that gunshot? It's already begun. Come on, Inspector. We must make haste.
Inspector, I really don't think you should be trusting this friar. He's a two-faced wolf.
Friar Remus has provided me with reliable information in the past. I trust his judgment.
But Inspector...
This isn't up for discussion, Sparrowson. I have a duty to uphold. Stay put. I'll be back in no time at all.
But... What should I do now?
A gunshot. He was nearby, too.
So the friar was right. Violence really is an inevitability.
We haven't reached that stage yet, madam.
I can't afford to take chances. Not now. Piero, march the crowd to the Police Royale and construct the barricade.
Yes, ma'am.
Fontaine, Falcon, we're going to find the source of this disturbance.
It came from here, Inspector. Hurry, hurry.
I'm moving as fast as these old legs will. Mon Dieu! A body! This woman must have been the target of the gunshot we just heard, but I don't see a shooter. I think the gunshot came from over here. Inspector? Falcon. Well, well. I should have known that the Viridian killer would have had a part in this. Inspector, I'm not...
What do we have here? A filthy cop and a dead girl.
Madam, thank goodness you're here. I saw the whole thing. This poor, innocent mademoiselle was approaching the police line with her hands in the air, when all of a sudden this brute of a police inspector yelled, "Get back, you filthy rebel!" He drew his gun and shot the bird point blank through her heart.
What is this nonsense? What are you prattling on about, Friar?
Thank you for your input, Remus. It hardly surprises me that a member of the police would be the one to cast the first stone.
I think we're all being a little rash. Let's just take a breath, examine the situation, and...
Wait a moment. You wear an eye patch. You only have one eye, Inspector.
How observant.
Tell me, were you the policeman who killed the rat at Les Halles, too?
Les Halles? What are you talking about?
2 incidents of a one-eyed policeman gunning down an innocent victim. There is no way that is a coincidence. What we have here is a filthy, corrupt individual who takes pleasure in oppressing the common citizen. Am I right, Inspector?
I really shouldn't be surprised that a stupid rebel makes stupid assumptions and comes to stupid conclusions. But open your damned eyes, mademoiselle. I'm not the assailant here.
Don't call me mademoiselle. Or stupid, for that matter. Your guilt is plain to see. Given the circumstances, I have to judge and execute you right here and now.
Falcon, don't stand there gawking. Vouch for me. Madam, I know this man. His name is Inspector Volerti. He is ruthlessly law-abiding. So much so that I can't envision him shooting a man without just cause.
Oh, shut up, Falcon. I'm done with your idealism. I listened to you. I took your words to heart about avoiding violence. And now a girl is dead. Well, I'm done taking chances. Remus, help me escort this invalid to Piero's barricade. I'll decide his fate there.
With pleasure, madam. Come along, Inspector.
Fontaine, Falcon, deal with the corpse. Meet us at the barricade when you're done.
There's no way that this was the work of the police. You know what, Falcon? I think you might be right. An isolated gunshot? This far away from the police line? Doesn't make any sense at all. But that's rebellions for you. They're messy affairs. Sometimes innocents get caught in the crossfire, and there's no reason for it. Well, there's no use dawdling. Help me get this corpse off the streets. Not yet. I'm going to examine the body first. Examine the body? We agree that this wasn't the work of Inspector Volerti, right? Then there might be some clues on the corpse that point towards what happened. An impromptu coroner's examination, eh? Fine. You have 2 minutes. After that, we're heading to the barricades whether you're done here or not. It's a long shot. I believe this girl is faking her injury. Just for the sake of thoroughness, I really ought to check for a pulse. Right. No, nothing. This is the bullet wound, right? What can you tell me about it, Fontaine? Well, it looks like the bullet took a fairly straight angle of entry through the mademoiselle's back. The shooter is probably standing right behind the victim. What's the bullet size? You know, its caliber. Let me guess. You're hoping that the caliber of the bullet is different to the caliber of the inspector's gun. That would conveniently get that one-eyed police officer off the hook, wouldn't it? But I'm afraid I can't help you. I couldn't possibly know a bullet's caliber without having a good look at the bullet itself. And as you can plainly see, the bullet is 3 centimeters deep in flesh. So you need to see the bullet itself. Help me retrieve the bullet, Fontaine. Retrieve? You mean dig it out? I assume you have a little more experience in this area than I do. Well, you're not wrong there. Fine, this will only take a moment. Gross. Here you go. 1 used bullet. It looks like a standard lead rifle or pistol ball, but I'm afraid I cannot tell you its caliber. Why is that? The bullet fragmented upon impact, monsieur. I gathered all the pieces, but I cannot assess its diameter without any accuracy. Still, I would guess it was 13 to 16 millimeters. Sorry that I can't be more specific. That's an enormous help. Thank you, monsieur. What's this mark? It almost looks like a handprint, made in blood. Probably the mademoiselle's. I don't think so. It's the handprint of a left hand on the girl's left shoulder. There's no way a person could comfortably reach that spot on their own back. Yeah, not comfortably, that's for sure. The murderer. It has to be. The question on my mind is, why is the handprint made in blood? Did the murderer sully their hand on the girl's gunshot wound? Or were they injured prior to the shooting? There's so much to uncover here, and no time for a thorough investigation. Everyone's been so fixated on who did this that nobody stopped to ask who this girl was. I don't know, monsieur. Given her clothes, she's probably just another working girl. Just another? I don't mean to sound glib, but it's true. There is one mademoiselle among the thousands who live in Paris. Who was she? Who was she? Where did she work? Will her family miss her? I don't know. But in the long run, I don't think anybody would care. I care. I can't afford not to. I don't know who this mademoiselle was, but I'm going to see to it that justice was brought about for her death. Alright, well, I don't see anything else. I'm done here. Very good. Let's move this body off the street. Then we must hurry to the Police Royale. Rest in peace, mademoiselle. I'll see to it that justice is done.
Heh, everything's going just as planned. The Madam's probably fuming right now. She'll attack the Police Royale, the Prime Minister will flee, and then...
Excuse me, Monsieur.
What do you want? I'm busy.
Don't you recognize me, Monsieur? I know that my disguises are a little more complex than yours, but I assumed you would recognize Prince Juan when you saw him.
You're... Prince Juan?
Indeed, and you're Judge Romulus, the corrupt wolf. I know what you did. You tried to assassinate the king. You shot the croque Monsieur. And just moments ago, I saw you murder a maiden at the Palais de la Concorde. You truly are a vile individual, aren't you?
Yeah. As if you have any proof for any of that stuff. I'm out of here.
I also know that you're one half of the Viridian killer.
On any other day, I would gut you where you stand, Fox. But as it happens, I'm a little busy today.
Oh, the Viridian killer is too busy to kill me. Is that the truth? Or is that bullet wound of yours starting to affect your prowess? You must have lost an awful lot of blood. What do I do? What do I do? Oh, hello, Monsieur Vulpes. Ah, Monsieur Sparrowson. Perfect timing.
Who now? Oh, you're that fledgling. I guess this is what they call being stuck between a rock and a hard place, huh?
Monsieur Sparrowson, be a dear and help me restrain the Viridian killer. This guy? He's the Viridian killer? He looks more like Judge Romulus to me. Well, you would be right about that, too. Wow, so he's two scumbags in one. Alright then.
Ow! Mind the wound.
Quit your whining, Your Honor. Very nice takedown, Monsieur Sparrowson. You may want to check his pockets for weapons. He's something of a notorious killer, after all. Of course. Let's see what we've got here. Uh-huh. Here we are. A pistol. Probably the one used to kill the maiden, I suspect. What else can you find, Monsieur Sparrowson? This. An eye patch? Weird. What would this wolf want with an eye patch? Oh no. This is bad. Very bad indeed. I don't get it. What's wrong with an eye patch? There's no time to explain. Mousy. What is it, Monsieur Vulpes? What is it? Take this eye patch to J.J. Falcon. If my fears are correct, he'll be somewhere around the Palais Royal right now. Tell him that this belongs to Remus's brother. Hurry now. Right away, Monsieur Vulpes. Right away. I must go too. I need to find the other half of the Viridian killer pair before something terrible happens. Wait, Monsieur Vulpes. What am I supposed to do with this guy? You have his gun, don't you? March that wolf to the nearest police station and collect your reward for capturing Judge Romulus. What a strange day. Outside the Police Royale, the rebels have constructed a makeshift barricade out of furniture, branches, rocks, and anything else they can find. From behind the wall, the rebels taunt the police and royal guards with chants. I'm growing impatient, pig. Confess your crimes. I have nothing to confess, you filthy rebel. You and all your rebel friends, however, should confess to 1,000 counts of treason and public disorder. I will see each and every one of you hanged for your flagrant disregard of the law. Your stubborn attitude is disgusting. A few days ago, you were seen in Les Halles. Witnesses saw you murder a beggar in cold blood. Today, a friar has testified to seeing you murder a girl, again completely unprovoked. I don't know why you continue to plead your innocence. But it doesn't matter. I don't need a confession to know you're a killer. Madame Beaumont, stop. The inspector didn't shoot that mademoiselle. Keep your beak closed, Falcon. I'm done listening to your suggestions. This policeman is as guilty as any other monster in a decrepit justice system. It's my duty to execute him. Madam, Falcon has uncovered some pretty convincing evidence. I would recommend that you hear him out. Please, just give me 5 minutes. 5 minutes and I can convince you of this inspector's innocence. 5 minutes is precious in a time like this. I can't afford it. What if you're wrong? Are you willing to see another dead innocent? Thank you, madam. Having my life saved by the Valerian killer. How humiliating.
Quiet, pig. Your life is mine until I say otherwise.
Okay, so first of all, let us recap on what Friar Remus had to say. Wait, where is that friar? He's a key witness to this crime.
He scarpered as soon as he dropped the inspector off. Said he had some business to attend to.
Business?
Man, oh man, those barricades are looking pretty scary. But I mustn't fear, for I am a brave duck. I am the great Officer Beck. Handsome, intelligent, strong, truly, a fearless hero who will be remembered for...
Hello, officer.
Ah! You scared me, monsieur. Monk.
Friar, actually. Friar Remus. Listen, officer, I have something of great importance to tell you. I was just passing by the rebel camp, and I overheard a conversation.
Oh, this sounds good. Do go on.
They said that they were going to launch an assault very soon, and when they do, they're going to rain hellfire on the palace.
Oh no, it's just as I feared. What'll we do?
It's simple, officer. As soon as you hear the first gunshot, you need to retaliate. Hit them with everything you've got. Every cannon, every rifle, every piece of artillery. Don't leave a single piece of the barricade remaining. That's the only way you can be sure to survive.
Ah, total annihilation. I like it. But Friar, I'm confused. Aren't you a Christian?
Yes? So what?
I don't know. It's just that your idea doesn't seem very... Christian-y.
Ah, I see. You think this is a moral issue. Let me tell you a secret, my dearest duck friend. There is no God, no overarching morality or higher plan, no heaven to savor the righteous or hell to punish the sinners. There is only you, your artillery, and 10,000 rebels who want to dine on Peking duck tonight. Understand?
That's an awful lot to take in.
Then let me simplify. It's you or them.
It's me or them. Forget about the friar, Falcon. We all remember what he had to say. Present your case based on what you can recall.
Okay, I will.
But you may want to wipe that mouse off your shoulder first.
Sorry, wipe what? Oh, it's you, Mousy.
Monsieur Falcon. Special delivery from Reynard Volpes.
Thank you, Mousy. What is this?
An eye patch. It was found in Remus's brother's clothing.
Remus's brothers? Is it an eye patch belonging to Judge Romulus? That's interesting. Where is Romulus?
There's no time, Monsieur. Just take it. I have to run, Monsieur, but you have to do your best. Monsieur Volpes and Sparrowson believe in you.
Sparrowson? You've seen Sparrowson. How is he?
There's no time, Monsieur. Good luck. Are you quite done, Falcon?
Very much so. Let's begin this trial. Okay, so let's remember what the friar said. Let's talk about the victim. What was her name?
We don't know. Nobody knows. Just one more nameless girl stamped out under the boot of tyranny.
That's tragic.
Very much so. And I want to see a world where it never happens again.
Isn't it possible that the girl was acting threatening and that she was killed in self-defense?
Don't blame the victim, Falcon. It's tasteless.
But we must consider.
Falcon, I don't think there is any scenario you can conjure that justifies an armed policeman gunning down an unarmed girl. I strongly advise you to choose another topic.
You're absolutely right. Let's just move this discussion along. Friar Remus claims that the inspector drew his gun. Madam, what caliber is the inspector's weapon?
What caliber? I don't have the faintest...
15 millimeters. That's the standard caliber for a Gender main pistol. And what caliber was the bullet found in the Mademoiselle? Well, I can't be sure because the bullet fragmented, but it looks to be between 13 and 17 millimeters. I'm afraid that's the most accurate measurement I can make, given the circumstances. If the bullet were 17 millimeters in diameter, then it wouldn't fit in the inspector's 15 millimeter gun. That would immediately free the inspector of all guilt.
It certainly would, if the bullet were 17 millimeters. Fontaine just said the bullet was between 13 and 17 millimeters. That's quite a large range.
But if it were 17...
If it were 13 or 15, then the inspector's guilt would only be confirmed further. You're holding on to the shred of hope that the bullet is actually 17 millimeters, but you lack any real evidence. Let's move this along.
Tell me, madam, did you even find the weapon on the inspector at the time of his arrest?
Yes, we confiscated this from his person.
Oh, I see. But is it possible that the gun was planted?
That's a standard issue percussion lock chamber... Chatterroulat Gendarmerie pistol.
That's exactly the type of gun I would expect a policeman to carry. Sorry, Falcon. Father Vremis claimed that the girl was shot point blank in the chest. Was there really only one shot fired? I'm surprised that the incident didn't spark a full-on fight.
Falcon, you were as close to the incident as I was. How many gunshots did you hear?
One.
Well then. Alright, well the other one seems like the thing to do.
The friar said that the girl was approaching the police line at the time of the shooting. Now, as I recall, the main police line was at the entrance of Tulare in the Palace de la Concorde. That's around where we were waiting. But this incident didn't occur there. It was a good 50, maybe 100 meters away.
So what?
So what? It's a severe discrepancy in the friar's account of events.
Maybe there was a police line there, but it moved. Maybe the friar was mistaken, and it was just a single officer. Does it really matter?
Yes, it matters hugely. It impacts how we view the narrative of events.
How exactly? Elaborate.
Well, if it were just a single police officer, then it would be more of a private confrontation, and, well, yeah.
Sorry, Falcon, I don't buy it. An innocent being killed by a policeman is an innocent being killed by a policeman. The friar got some details wrong, but the overarching crime remains. We must stay focused on that.
We should be asking why the girl would do such a thing. It doesn't make any sense.
Perhaps she wanted to hurl insults at the police. Perhaps she just wanted directions. I have no idea what her intentions were, but in any case, her death was the outcome. That's what we must focus on.
The girl was clearly shot in the back.
I know. I remember seeing the bullet wound for myself.
But that's quite a glaring inaccuracy in the wolf's testimony.
It is an inaccuracy, but it is an irrelevant inaccuracy. Does it really matter if the girl was shot in the front or the back? Either way, a girl died at this pig's hands.
It does matter. If the girl was shot from the front, then this might incite a police confrontation This might indicate a police confrontation turned ugly. But if she were shot in the back, then what? This could indicate that someone targeted and assassinated her before she could even react.
That doesn't paint the inspector in a particularly flattering light, Falcon.
Madam, you're missing the point. A shot to the back breaks the currently established narrative. The girl was targeted and murdered in a stealthy, professional attack. Therefore, this is not an ordinary police confrontation.
You've made an assumption, Falcon. You've assumed that, just because the girl was shot in the back, she must have been stealthily killed. There are other possibilities. Perhaps the girl was scared by the police, started running away, and was shot in the back as she fled.
That scenario isn't possible. If the girl were running away, then she would have been at least a couple of steps away from the killer at the time of the shooting, right?
Right.
But I know the killer was standing right behind the victim. They were less than 1 meter apart when the gun was fired.
They were standing that close? How could you possibly know that, Falcon?
We saw a bloodied handprint on the girl's shoulder. What do you make of that, madame?
Well, I assume any bloody stain would belong to the victim. A mark made with the girl's dying breath, perhaps.
No, it is the print of a left hand on the girl's left shoulder, near her upper back. The angle and positioning of the print indicate that it could only have been caused by another person. That's why I'm so certain that the killer was right behind the girl at the time of the attack.
I see. That's quite a theory. But Falcon, you've left an important question unanswered. Why was the handprint bloody? The print was made with the victim's blood, yes? So it can't possibly have been made prior to the shooting. The killer must have wiped his hand on the girl's clothing after she had already died. And if that's the case, then my suggested scenario is still possible. The girl may have been running from the police when she was shot.
No, I'm still trying to work out the details. But I know that the print was made prior to the shooting. Maybe the shooter was injured, and his hands were already covered in blood.
You talk big about breaking the established narrative, and now you present me with that baseless drivel. Well, where do we go from here? How does the handprint nonsense really affect the situation? Do you find something funny about this situation, Inspector?
I do. This whole trial is patently absurd. It's an animal court through and through. But there was something particularly funny about that last exchange. You were both so focused on winning how this handprint was made that you missed the larger issue. I don't have a left hand, you idiots. I couldn't possibly have left that mark.
Oh, right. Of course.
Well, madam, what do you say to that?
Maybe the handprint came from an accomplice. Or maybe it had nothing to do with the incident. Or...
It feels good to see someone else speculating wildly, for a change.
Okay, fine. I don't have a solid explanation. I must concede that it's possible, maybe even likely, that the person who left that mark was the murderer. Therefore, as much as it pains me to say it, I must concede that the inspector probably did not shoot the girl.
So that's it. The inspector is off the hook.
No. There's still the matter of the incident at Les Halls.
What incident is this? I know nothing about it.
Ha! As if you don't know. A beggar rat was shot and killed at Les Halls a few days ago. The attacker was described as a scowling police officer who wore an eye patch. Sound familiar to you? Go on, Falcon. Explain the pig out of this one.
Until 5 minutes ago, I was at a loss. But I was recently presented with a piece of evidence that makes the answer all too clear. This was a false flag operation.
False flag? Explain yourself, Falcon.
Madam, what do you know about Remus's twin brother, the man known as Romulus?
Not much. Only that he was forced to flee the country by our oppressive government about a month ago.
That's a half-truth, madam. You see, it is correct that Romulus is being hunted by the police. But I've had the suspicion that the wolf was lurking in Paris itself. Although, I never managed to find definitive proof of this. Anyway, it turned out that my suspicion was well-founded. He was recently apprehended, I think.
You think?
I don't know the details, but it doesn't matter. What's important is that a reliable friend found this on Romulus's person just moments ago.
An eye patch.
Romulus has perfect vision. Why would he need something like this? There's only one plausible explanation. It is part of a disguise. Something to conceal his identity and make him appear as someone else.
A disguise? You're saying that Romulus shot the beggar rat just to frame this police inspector?
Exactly, madam. It's no coincidence that Friar Remus happened to find the very same inspector just as another murder occurred today.
So, Remus was in on it too. Two wolves working together to make this policeman look like a murderer. But why? Why would they do that?
To rile you up, madam. To make you lust for violence. And if your actions today are anything to go by, I would say that they succeeded.
Damn, I've been so stupid. How did I let myself get so misled by a couple of wolves? This trial's over. Go, Inspector. You're free.
It's about time.
You're letting him walk, ma'am? Of course. It would be criminal to confine an innocent man any longer than necessary, even if the man is a bitter, stubborn pig.
Falcon.
Yes?
I don't understand you. You're stupid. You're reckless. But you fought Beacon Talon for my freedom. I'm starting to suspect that you really aren't the Viridian killer after all.
It certainly took a long time to pass that factory, you thick skull. Inspector, if you're still hunting the villain, maybe you should speak with Renard Vulpes. When this is all over, I mean. I hear he's been doing some research into the Viridian killer. Maybe he knows something.
Maybe I will. Madam, it appears that your gang of rebel filth don't intend on assaulting the palace anytime soon. I'll relay that information to the artillerymen. Maybe we can keep a peaceful standoff going until this blows over.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
All of you, stay out of trouble.
So, what happens now, madam? We're going to continue our protest. Peacefully. We're going to stand here, chanting and shouting until the Prime Minister and the King both step down out of sheer humiliation. It might take days, weeks, but if we manage to change this country without one more person being harmed, then... Well, well, look who returned.
Madam, I just saw the police inspector strolling out of here, unharmed. Why did you let him go?
That's simple, Remus. We all had a discussion, and we came to the conclusion that I had been misled by a couple of wolves.
Oh?
How many lies have you fed me, Friar? Just how much damage have you done to further your own goals? Did you help your brother kill the beggar rat in Les Halls? Did you watch the girl die by the Police de Concord? Now that I think about it, even the Cronk Monsieur's death was surrounded by details that made little sense. I don't know what to think anymore. You know that this guy's a scumbag, at least, ma'am. I say, shoot him.
Pierre's right. We won't judge you for killing this man, madam.
It's the least I deserve for my sins. Go ahead, madam. What are you waiting for? Pull the trigger. Do it.
Falcon, you have proven yourself as having clear judgment. What do you say?
Madam, you know what the right thing to do is. Show us what kind of leader you wish to be.
You're right. I said that this will be a bloodless revolution, and I can't make any exceptions. Not even for a monster like this wolf.
Wow. This is amazing. Completely unprecedented. You've buckled all my expectations, avoided every temptation, and opted for an option that shouldn't even exist. Well done, madam. Well done, Falcon. You've demonstrated the power of pacifism in its purest form. But unfortunately for both of you, I'm no pacifist. Everyone, get down!
Suicide. Shooting himself in the head? What a loony. Hardly a surprise that the wolf would be too cowardly to face a real punishment.
This isn't right.
It's not the solution I wanted either, Falcon, but I can't say I'll mourn the friar's death.
No, that's not what I meant. I meant that it doesn't make sense for him to kill himself so abruptly. And that comment of his, it was almost like... I think we need to get out of here. All of us. Right now.
Falcon, what are you talking about? Ah, that was a gunshot. Really close, too. I can't afford to hesitate. It's me or them.
Officer, hold your fire.
No way. I can't afford to take chances. It's me or them. It's me or them. Fire every cannon. Can anyone hear me? Piero, Fontaine. Hello? Anyone?
I'm here, madam.
Falcon. Heh. Of all the people. I think I made a mistake, Falcon. Where did I go wrong? Was it when I lost my temper over seeing that dead girl? Or was it earlier when I shot that prosecutor? Or was it earlier still when I first listened to that monstrous friar in the first place? I've made a lot of mistakes.
We've all made mistakes, madam.
Most people's mistakes don't spark bloody revolutions.
Can you move, madam?
I don't think so.
Give me a minute. I think I can clear some of this rubble.
One moment, there's a moth I need to kill. Dear Monsieur Volpes, I am writing to you from the Dimao Railway Express. Modern technology truly is amazing. I've decided to take your advice and have gone on vacation until things settle down. The king fleeing to Britain? The Second Republic taking over? It's all crazy stuff. Anyway, before I left, you asked if I knew what happened to Falcon. Well, I got my hands on a copy of the official police report, and it says that Falcon died during the attack on the barricade. It also says the police didn't find a body, same as Leon Beaumont. Weird, huh? Rumors is that he was probably blown away by cannon fire, but that doesn't sound right to me. The Falcon I knew was tough and intuitive. I think he found a way to escape and survive. So in my opinion, he's still out there. It's possible, isn't it? Anyway, I should probably wrap this letter up because I'm about to reach my stop, Vienna. I'll let you know how Mademoiselle Signe and her parents are doing. Maybe you could come visit Maybe you should come pay a visit sometime. Send my regards to Mousy. Yours sincerely, Sparrowson. P.S. I see a person selling Milliherm strudel. What is it? P.P.S. Delicious. That's what. Alright. Well, that's just credits, so skip. You've reached the end of Route C, Fraternite. Alright. One more ending to go.